everybody? It's your boy PTK Blam back in the building with another weekly video. How is everybody feeling today, man? But before we get started in today's video, I know you guys are eagerly awaiting. You saw that thumbnail, was like, what is Blam talking about? Before we get to all of that, shout out to everybody who came out and showed love and supported the Shop Podcast 298 last night. Shout out to our guest, Derek Griggity from WBG Xbox Podcast, man. Everybody came out, showed up, showed love, man. We broke an attendance record last night. It was a movie. It was amazing. All the new people showed up. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. And if you enjoyed this video, and more videos like this, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Gotta love that algorithm. So I appreciate the influx of new subscribers and everybody who's been joining in and loving all of the new videos. And man, this has truly been amazing. So thank you guys for all of that. But man, we got a whole lot to talk about today, and I got another banger video for sure for you guys lined up. And like I said earlier, I know you guys looking at the thumbnail like, what the heck is Blam talking about? Does he not know what games have already come out and what games have yet to come out? 2023, a year in which Hogwarts Legacy might be forgotten. A game that sold 12 million copies in 10 days might be forgotten. It might become a footnote due to games like Zelda, games like Starfield, Spider-Man 2. I mean, you got a ton of games coming out, and this might be one of those banner years. We talked about it, man. 2023 could potentially be like a 2007 level year. So in a year like that, can a game like, yes, Diablo 4 push its way, make its way, and get a Game of the Year nomination at minimum? And I am one of the people who do think it can. And I'm gonna name off a few different reasons. I got about 5 or 6 different reasons here. We're gonna make this official and nice and formal. So I'm gonna have some graphs, some pictures, some nice things up on the screen to help you guys along here, so I can make my case and point why I think Diablo 4 at minimum is going to get heavy Game of the Year consideration, man. So we're gonna start right at the top, man. We're gonna start with the beta, man. The beta, I don't have the dates, and I should have grabbed this information earlier, but there was 2 betas. There was a closed beta and there was a public beta about a weekend later. They were both amazing. Now, obviously, we want to be transparent here. The first day there was issues, extremely long queues, but they got that situation together. I don't know if they just spun up some more servers. They got that under wraps within 24 hours. There was 0 issues after that. There were some isolated events, but for the main majority of people, there were 0 issues. Same exact thing with the public beta. Obviously, with the public open beta, is far more people playing. Man, they got some huge numbers. I'm gonna throw those up on the screen right now for you analytics guys who like the data, who like the numbers. Take a gander at those numbers, man, and see the feedback, the turnout that they got just from these 2 betas. I don't know if that's combined or if those are from just the individual public open beta, but that is massive. Massive. So you got the continued success of the beta, man. It turned out well. There was a few doubts, and shout out to Pong. I know we talked about this. Obviously, the biggest thing was is connectivity. Is everything going to be up and running day one? Because if the beta goes well, the outpour and the turnout's going to be massive day one. And I'll get into that a little bit later on. I'll elaborate into that. But were they going to be ready from an infrastructure standpoint? And I feel like after the 2 betas, everything went well. It took them less than 24 hours. I had 0 issues, and this is just me personally playing. Had 0 issues playing the game. Had 0 issues getting in the game within maybe 10 seconds. After the first day. So once again, an ultra successful beta. You need that. It's hard to do that in today's gaming landscape. A lot of games try and do it. A lot of games don't even bother with betas anymore, to be honest with you. So the fact that they pulled that off in such a great fashion, and we're gonna move on to my next point, man. My next point is going to be just the fan base, man, and that is the Strive huge, massive fan base that is Blizzard fans, man. People forget, man. They got an entire conference, BlizzCon, named after Blizzard, man, Activision Blizzard. And I know they've been in a rough place for a long time, especially the Blizzard side of things with WoW, obviously with Diablo. The franchises have been stale. That's well documented. A lot of HR stuff going on over there at Activision Blizzard. But now that is potentially going away with this merger, this purchase with ABK Microsoft, you're seeing a lot of new energy. They're spinning things up, man. They're ready to go. WoW is gotten an expansion. There's Diablo 4 is looking to be a huge game. Everything's looking to make a comeback, man. They're doing a lot of things. There's a lot of excitement for the potential future of Activision Blizzard. So you got to consider the fan base that was starved, for a long time. There hasn't been a BlizzCon in 3 years. It was announced as well that there is going to be a BlizzCon this year. That's going to be huge. So you're getting that event back in person. That's a big deal for a brand new game coming out, man. So that's huge as well. So I wanted to make that point, man. Then you got what really gets me into games, and that's the story, the lore, the world. And Diablo is nothing short of amazing. It has an extremely rich Lord of the Rings-esque, dare I say, type lore with the demons, the angels, the Middle Earth. I don't remember specifically what it's called, but you had, kind of humans caught, kind of humans caught in the middle, and Earth is kind of the battlefield essentially. So, it's a lot going on, a lot of compelling characters, man. That's one of the things I noticed about the beta as well, too. The writing seems to be amazing. You kind of get wrapped up in the story. You run around, you're doing all these different quests, but you're actually, the voice acting is so amazing. The atmosphere, they nailed. So you just kind of keep up. I usually, when you're doing these fetch quests in these huge open world games, sometimes you don't give a damn what the NPC is talking about or asking you to do. But, a lot of the dialogue here you want to get into because a lot of it related to the story. So that was one of the things I noticed in the beta. So they nailed that. Obviously the lore is extensive. You can go check it out. I'm sure there's plenty books. There's all type of stuff, all kind of forums you can go find about the lore and what's going on in the story and where they're currently at with Diablo 4, man. Then you got the world. Obviously they're doing things a little bit different. This is a massive game. And during the beta, we only got to play a small percentage of what we're going to get to play once the game comes out. This game is massive, full open world. You have mounts, which is a first for Diablo. You have mounts which you'll be able to get around on. You can even use the mounts in combat. That's going to be crazy. I'm sure there's going to be maybe a possible separate skill tree for your mounts. I don't know if mounts are predicated to the class, or every class can use a mount. That would be cool, but we'll get those details, I'm sure, as the game gets closer, maybe once the game actually comes out. So the world, the lore, everything is there, man, for a heavy Game of the Year nomination. Then you got the thing that I'm really excited about as well, is the accessibility. You got a ton of character customization. That's what you want to do. People get in this game, as massive as it is and all the lore, you want to give people a personal feeling. And you can go in, they got all kind of creator options. You can customize your character as much or as little as you want. Make them look like you, make them look like all kind of crazy stuff. They got thousands and thousands upon possibilities, the way that you can customize your character. So that's really cool. That draws people into the game. That brings people in, being able to make your character you. All kind of, cool little designs. So we'll see that more extensively once the game comes out. That's really exciting as well. So it has that aspect too. A lot of games don't possess that level of detail and customization. So that's a huge plus for Diablo. And then last thing here, which is huge, and this is going to be, 1,000-hour game, in game, essentially what I'm talking about, whether that be DLC or just like story content. You're talking about 1,000+ hour game, Diablo 4. As we'll be playing this game in between everything else. At least I can speak for myself. I'll be playing this in between Starfield, in between everything else is coming out. This is going to replace like the Division 2, Destiny 2 for me in a lot of ways. I'll be grinding this a majority of the time, playing it probably all year. Every time some DLC or some update comes out, I will be playing this game. So it has that long-term aspect. Now, I don't want to knock the single player games because it is what it is, right? Single player experience, different game, for a different crowd. But for me personally, I do love a game I know I'm gonna be able to sink my teeth into, and that's gonna grow with me for 4 or 5 years, potentially longer than that, depending on how long they actually want to support it. So that's a big deal for me as a big Destiny fan, Division fan. I love that kind of stuff. So I'm all in on it, man. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, man. What do you guys think of the list? Let me know what you guys think, man. Is Diablo 4 Game of the Year? Like I said, bare minimum, Game of the Year consideration, heavy Game of the Year consideration, possibly even a win, depending on how this thing shapes up, man. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that. Once again, appreciate the support on the videos. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Peace out.